Welcome to Never in the Red. We're really glad to have you here today. We're in our third episode of the budgeting setup process. We've already gone through how to set up the master budget, how to add your transactions for the week, and now we're getting into how to evaluate those transactions. So I think we've got it all set up. Let's go ahead and begin. So we're back and we're getting into this next episode. It's really important for us to make sure that we remember what happened in the last two episodes. So we built our budget already and we added the transactions in from our bank. And now we're able to look at those transactions and sort of evaluate them, right? That's all about what we need to do before we actually look at how well we did, or if we need to make some adjustments with the decisions that we've made. So let's go ahead and look at the spreadsheet. So at this point, we've done all of our blues, right? Our blues come from the bank. And so now what we have are the items that we actually need to add in so that the reporting on the last tab works and functions. So the first thing we're gonna do is evaluate the month. So this is really easy, January. So we purchased this in January, and that will be how we assess the rest of all the items that are in January. So then we're gonna come down here, and then we're gonna put in February. So we'll go ahead and get all of these items into the spreadsheet. So at this point, the month is assigned. So now we'll go ahead and talk about the type. So what we're doing here is assigning those buckets that we had looked at and assigned to on the first page with the expenses. So all of these different line items that we wrote in, these buckets that we assigned values to, we will need to go on this next tab and figure out which of these expenses relate to the expenses on the first tab. So what I'm going to tell you is this. This gets a little more advanced with Excel, and we're going to start to link a few things. With linking, it's very, very important that everything is spelled exactly the same, because otherwise Excel won't have any way to know, as the formulas are completed on tab 3, that it relates to these items on this tab. So a very, very easy way to do that is to create a list. So a list is created by just highlighting all the places that you would like a list to exist. So we're gonna go all the way down into the green. It's very, very important that you do this in the Insert to Keep Formulas Here section, so that when you do add rows, the list continues. So we're going to highlight all of those, and then we're going to come to our data tab. And in our data tab, we have something called data validation. So when we click here, we're going to come up with setting a validation formula that will allow a list to exist. And our source for our list is actually going to be on our first tab. This source will be all of the items in the buckets. So here we say okay, and now every single one of these little cells has a drop-down, and this drop-down will now allow us to select exactly what is typed on the first page. And a really cool part about this, so let's say we wanted this to say rent townhome, right? Let's say that's what we wanted it to be. Then when we come over here to this other tab, all of these now say rent townhome, and they would change if you were to select them. So that is a very cool feature, and it's something that I would encourage you to do. Otherwise, tab 3 may not work all that well. So let's keep going. So the first one that we're gonna do, this is our rent, right? It's our landlord, we paid them $1,500. Our power company is going to be our utilities. So we'll go ahead and select that. USAA is gonna be our car insurance. And we'll have 7-Eleven. Let's say we got some gas there, right? Publix, we spent $30 on groceries. That sounds great. And then at Walmart, we did a little bit of shopping. Maybe we got a new bedspread or something like that. Next we have Sprint, maybe that's our cell phone carrier. And then we'll have our nail salon, which would be, we have a bucket for salon and gym. That sounds like a good bucket. Then we get down to PetSmart. Okay, I got a dog, a horse, a cat, whatever, and we've got some pets. And then we went out and we did some painting with a twist, and we decided, okay, that sounds like a good idea. We use that for our going out budget. Then we go to Outback with the family, and we're like, okay, we went and we ate out, so we'll go ahead and put it in that bucket. And then let's say that we just don't have anywhere for Uber, but we took an Uber. Then we can say, you know what, that belongs in my other category. And then lastly, we have water. So maybe that's a utilities, right? Water for our home. And so on and so on. You would go through all of this and you would begin to drop in all of your types that you have. So what I've been able to do is already make that assessment. And this is actually a pretty easy task to do, because once you know what you've done and you have all of your transactions, it's just about going in and getting them and pulling them out and then dropping them into your work paper. So then it's just about going and getting them and dropping them into your work paper. Because I've already done this, I'm gonna just drop them in so we don't have to go through that all together. Okay, so now I've dropped everything in. And that is the next step. So this is probably the most time-consuming part after you've put everything in, is to make sure that everything is labeled correct. And the best part about that is once you set this up once, you never have to set it up again. And every time you have to add in new data, you just insert rows at the bottom and your formulas will come with you with that list that we've made. So this is really it for the video. Next time we're gonna get into how to evaluate all of this and make sure that it's correct. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you here next time at Never in the Red.